Alright folks, so in today's video I'm going to talk about the Elixir of Immortality. Now if you're wondering that this concept might sound a bit ridiculous, but the Chinese was completely obsessed with making this Elixir of Immortality for thousands of years. In fact, many of the great leaders that ruled over China, they all died due to the consumption of the supposedly Elixir of Immortality. For example, in the Tang Dynasty, this is one of the five top dynasties in China. At least six emperors, yes, there were emperors, conquerors, kings. They actually died while consuming this concoction. Also, the first ever emperor to truly unite China, Emperor Qin Shi Huang. To the present day, the cause of his death is still unknown, but it is widely believed that he died due to a consumption of the Elixir of Immortality. Even the Yongzheng Emperor during the Qing dynasty, so he was the son of the most legendary ruler of Chinese history. His name is Emperor Kangxi, and his grandson Emperor Qianlong, the two combined, they ruled China for over 120 years. Over 120 years between these two emperors. And if it wasn't for Emperor Yongzheng and his complete stupidity, he could have his name etched in history as one of the most legendary rulers in Chinese history. But unfortunately, he suffered the same fate when he tried to consume the Elixir of Immortality. So if you're wondering what the hell is in these elixirs that these emperors and rulers and these powerful politicians and these wealthy top 1% Chinese people, what the hell are they drinking? Well, there's no universal formula, obviously, because there's no such thing as the Elixir of Immortality. Basically, what these mad scientists did back in the day for thousands of years, what they tried to mix was a concoction between a mixture of mercury, arsenic, sulphuric acid, gold, and silver. Yes, these were typically the top five primary ingredients, and whatever else they can find, deep in the forest or deep in the mines, whatever they can dig up, and they try to mix it all together into a pot and have people drinking it, believing that this could produce a pill that would grant them immortality. Obviously, it was all crazy BS. Even the Sima clan, so this was the clan that united China after the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, many of their family members fell victims to this insane practice. It's an insane world that we live in, and just to think that up until 100 years ago, the Chinese were still experimenting with these elements. People were trying to mix together mercury, arsenic, and the sulfuric acid. And the elixir sometimes can come in liquid form, and sometimes it could come in a pill form. Typically, they have different types of pills. The pill that is designed to help with your external body functions, so they will be called the white dan, or the outside pill. And the pill that's designed to help with your internal body functions, this will be called the nei dan, your inner body pill. Obviously, it's 100% bullshit, but the Chinese believed this for thousands of years, and for thousands of years they were obsessed with this concept, and they tried every single poison element that they could possibly find, and they mixed them together, and who knows, probably tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of people ended up drinking these, and it ended up taking their lives. And if you're wondering just how brutal it is, just search up images of mercury and arsenic poisoning. And Chinese people were drinking this stuff up until 100 years ago. This is pure insanity. Now, why am I bringing up this case? This is where things take a strange and very dark twist. I want to fast forward to the present day. So I have a question for all of you guys, especially to the FDA. So why is it okay that in 2024 that many of our vaccines have mercuries contained inside of them? No, I'm 100% serious about this. This is a very serious topic. You can look this up. It's called the Thimerosal vaccine. I believe that's how they're pronounced. Yes, many of our vaccines, including vaccines for children, contains liquid mercury inside of them. And I brought this topic up just a couple of videos ago, the rise of chronic illnesses across America. In fact, across many parts of the world. Why are so many kids coming out as queer or transgender now? Why do so many people have gender dysphoria? Why are so many kids being put on puberty blockers? How come almost every single person has an allergy now? How come over 100 million Americans are living with underlying health conditions? Okay, I brought up the issue of mercury. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If I go down too deep, right, the video might get taken down. I'll mention one more element. Atrazine, okay? First of all, you cannot avoid it. Atrazine, it's being used as a pesticide everywhere. Look at the map across the continental United States. So if you really want to avoid this, you will literally have to basically starve yourself to death because it is everywhere. And what's really dark about this is that you can look up this research when the scientists they injected these atrazines into a group of male frogs, and at the end of the research, 10% of the frogs became 100% transgender. And I don't mean that the transgender as a social construct. I mean that they had a complete 100% biological change to the point that 10% of the male frogs, they developed female reproductive organs. They developed estrogen and ovaries, and they could get impregnated by the male frogs and reproduce. So it got to the point where two male frogs can produce after being exposed to atrazine. This, by the way, this is not some government classified study. It's 100% out on open to the public. I highly stress you reading it. It is extremely concerning what the global elites, what they're doing to this generation, what they're putting into our farmlands, what they're putting on the shelves in the grocery stores, and how much they're trying to destroy the next generation. This is extremely, extremely concerning. So, if atrazine can actually turn biologically male frogs into 100% female frogs, you don't think that the human exposure to these chemicals, you don't think that has anything to do with the dramatic rise in transgenderism?